Hey there. In this video, I'm just going to talk about emotions, and it's because it's something I really feel it's an area of a very important part of our human existence that we've all been trained to ignore in this modern era. And it's kind of unfortunate because the truth is that through our emotions and our feelings, it's one of the ways that we experience the world. It's basically one half of the mechanism that we use to understand and to operate and to live in this crazy world that we live in. And what I mean by this is that we're always oscillating between our thinking, our intellect, and our emotion. And it's the two sides, our thoughts and our feelings that actually give us the picture of the world that we then navigate our way through. And on this channel, a lot of times I'm talking about anxiety, and what I've learned from the course of my experience is that a lot of the problems that lead to the generation of the symptoms of anxiety, the agitation, the confusion, the self-doubt, the questioning, the uncertainty, the imbalance in the outer manifestation of life, it really comes down to the fact that we're spending way too much time in our heads and not enough time in our hearts. And a lot of this has to do with the context of the world and the society that we live in, that really for the last 2,000 years has really promoted intellectual thought and rationality, and thereby kind of bypassing half of what makes us human, which is our emotions and our feeling. And to give you a great example of this, from my own experience, I've been talking a lot about homeopathy lately, because that was the way that I first learned about how the whole human organism truly works. And from my own experience of my own anxiety and depression, and yeah, so basically what I'm trying to tell you is that from my own experience, I had to learn the hard way. It took a long time. It took a long time for me to get from down here to up here. It was a long, winding journey of over a decade. And the fundamental lesson that I learned that really stuck with me and that really helped me is that in order to rise above those lower states of being that are characterized by things like anxiety and depression, which are really just rooted in fear. They're basically variations of some kind of subconscious fear coming to the surface. The only way to really get above those lower states is to actually be more present and to start feeling more. So get out of your head, right? By getting out of your head and back down into your body and feeling your sensations and actually resonating with what you feel drawn to in the moment. That's one of the best ways to rise up to a higher being. And that means things like, for me, it means living in a place like this, a beautiful place. In this particular spot near the ocean, for me particular, it's a 10-minute walk from where I live. And I also live in a place where I don't have to drive. And for me, I was never really into, although I lived in the city for the better part of 15 years, I was never really into that whole like driving around and going places and doing things and all of the noise and insanity of the bustling of people around. So for me, from my personal example of moving in a direction that's more heart-centered, it means living in a place like this where I have close proximity to natural beauty and the ability to just walk out my door and to experience this beautiful, wide open spaces is one example. And so yeah, like we live in this era where we've been trained by by society, by our parents, by teachers, by the people in the world that we're surrounded by. You always need to be thinking, and the gears always turning about, well, not just what you're doing now, what we're going to do tomorrow, what you're going to do 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the line. And the truth is that the only thing that really matters, the only thing that you could actually really be in control of is what you're doing like right now. And that all comes down to presence and being in your body and being open to all of the possibilities that are unfolding around you as you experience this greater unfolding of life that is basically the universe and the world that we live in. And so I just wanted to make this video. I just felt a little inspired to make this video and have this discussion where one thing you can really do to start rising up higher in your being and above the lower states of anxiety and depression is just to start allowing yourself to feel more and being present and accepting to whatever comes your way in the moment, rather than being in a place and, your mind running in the background. I don't really want to be here. It's not really what I want to be doing. But so be present to the things, whatever situation that you or event you find yourself in, is be present to it. Let everything be okay. And then if that's not an environment or a situation or event that you like, moving forward, change your behavior, change your choices so that you're moving more in line with what it is you're really passionate about, what actually really brings life, up and out into your experience. And so in the coming weeks and months, I'm actually going to be working on a bunch of talks and presentations with regards to this whole concept of going into the deeper levels of your emotional being and revisiting the lost art of things like crying and just the ability to bring emotions up as you feel them, and rather than to latch on to, attach to negative ideas and negative emotions and then keep them in your body, either through repression, suppression, or any other means, to actually learn to let what comes up into your experience, allow it to be, to see it for what it is, and then to let it go and move on and continue on the continuous process of unfolding to the present moment. So I'm pretty excited about these projects I have looking ahead and sharing them with you, and sharing some of the beautiful places that I get to go to that are just down the street from where I live. And so yeah, I don't have a lot more to say other than it's good. It's good to feel. It's good to feel. It's good to feel alive. It's good to stop thinking and just be, to be present to the moment and to experience and to allow, to surrender to the moment and allow things just to be and to unfold and to be okay with whatever happens. And from my own personal experiences, what I've found throughout my life is that when I have no fixed idea of how things should be, I have no grand master plan and just allow things to unfold, then that's when all the magic happens. And there's just this, I don't know, just this quality, there's this quality of life that emerges, not necessarily from the context of the world that you're living in or the event that you're in the moment, but it actually comes up through you and it's radiated out. And it just makes life so much more beautiful and accessible. It makes it easier to access those higher levels of peace and joy and love and happiness that I think at the end of the day, we're all really really looking for. A place of that sense of belonging and a sense of true happiness that comes from within, that doesn't rely on anything going on outside of us. And yeah, so some of these ideas, the concept of health and what that actually means, health and wellness being a feeling that you experience within your being, that has nothing to do with what's going on in the outside world. Rather, it emanates from within, and a lot of it has to do with vibrating on a frequency that is the frequency that is true to you, that lines up with your purpose, has alignment with whatever is your highest purpose in this life on earth, and which brings meaning and great value not only to yourself but to everybody else around you. So yeah, I'm really stoked to be here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one of these things. And in the meantime, if you want to learn about homeopathy, you can check out this video. And it will teach you everything that I learned from my own experience dealing with anxiety and finding solutions to my deeper emotional problems as a result of a kind of on a whim visit with a homeopath. So till then,